Car lovers are a breed all of their own, and they're always willing to help one another, and you meet some fantastic people. Wouldn't trade nothing. If you've got any kind of love for classic cars or muscle cars or performance vehicles, you gotta like what we do. It's not a fad. It's not something that comes and goes. It sticks with you forever.
All generations loves these cars. It brings people back when everything was really relaxed and comfortable.
It gets a lot of recognition. It brings a lot of attention to what car guys really like. And people that don't even have a classic car appreciate seeing something that they grew up with. Something that their dad had, something that their mom had, something that their uncle had, that it's near and dear to them.
I was raised in a gas station. My daddy had a Sunoco station and a blue truck just like this. Not this shiny and not this pretty, but it was a work truck, and it's what I learned to drive in.
The muscle cars, the 60s and 70s.
I know some of the newer cars are considered a muscle car, but I think the vintage old classic, the V8s, like VA said, the rumbles, the exhaust, and the individuality piece that people put into these old muscle cars and making it their own. And horsepower and torque, of course, has to be in a muscle car, don't you think? The more the better.
To me, it's got to have that sound. It's got to have that good sound, Bump, 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 bump. It's got to have a sound. It's got to have a sound to it.
It's got its own little rattles and its own unique sounds that it makes, but it's what I grew up with and it's what I love. This is the original F1. These came out right after World War II. 1948 was the first year. There was more chrome on them probably just before the war, but right after the war was the explosion of new car design. So this was Ford's first design. Their 49 sedan was their first new car after the war. So it was, I guess, a time of revolution and evolution. It rides just like a car instead of like a truck. Everywhere you go, people give you a thumbs up when you drive this. I have a 68 Camaro that I'm in the middle of restoring right now. So I've got two. Most everyone I know has got 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5. You run out of space after a while. And money.
Yeah. We have a 1967 Chevy Chevelle. This is not a Super Sport, it's a Malibu. I have an original bill of sale in the glove box. $2,725, less a $100 bargaining discount. It's a really, really nice car. It's a jewel. It's a nice car. I'd go to California tomorrow morning on it. I wouldn't hesitate. The car's never tripped 100,000 miles. Actually belongs to my wife. Yeah, this comes ahead of me, I believe. Back in the day, in the late 50s, 60s, and early 70s, GM, Mopar, and Ford were all into. The crave was for performance. The crave was for horsepower. And so they listened, and they built us plenty of it. Unfortunately, over the years, after the gas crisis, A lot of them wound up in salvage yards and crushed, but we're doing our best to pull them back out and put them back together.
It's just a piece of our history, a really important part of our history, and it's nice to see people, restoring them and taking care of them, because there won't be any more made like they were before.